guys, it's me, Allie. Today I am going to be moving my Rubber Ducky isopods into a slightly larger enclosure. I currently have them in this pretty small deli cup. They're just babies and I only have 6. I've only had them for maybe about 3 weeks now. I was told that it was cool to keep them in the small deli cup just because you don't want to put them in something too big because you don't want them to get lost. But what I'm noticing in the smaller deli cup is it's really hard to control the humidity levels. I know that they need higher humidity, but I almost find that it's like too humid throughout the whole enclosure, and it's really hard to have any kind of like dry area if they wanted it. I tried adding dry soil to one side, but just for some reason this deli cup is so small that even the dry side ends up getting moist and humid. So I am going to be moving them into this enclosure. It's still really tiny, like it's nowhere near the size of like the shoe boxes I usually use. It's a super little small container that I got from Target, and I really liked it because it had a pretty decent rubber seal across the top, and so I know that'll help with humidity. And I'm going to be adding these let's see if I can get it in the camera. I'm going to be adding these tiny little holes using this drill, and I'm just going to put a few holes on this side and a few holes on the other side, and then that way I'm hoping that it'll have some ventilation, but not too much humidity will be able to leave the enclosure. So once I'm done with that, then I will come back and I will show you how I'll be setting it up. Okay, so before I get started on their enclosure, I'm gonna just go over a few items that I have prepared that I'll be adding to the enclosure. So the first one is this isopod substrate. This is just a regular ABG mix that my coworker had made. It's really good. I've tried a bunch of different soils, or substrates I should say, from Josh's Frogs, and I've tried making my own, but hers is really awesome. She has a lot of crushed leaf litter. I believe she uses, I don't think she uses peat moss. I think she uses the coconut fiber. And then she also puts tree fern in there, I think a little bit of charcoal. So yeah, she has a really good mix. I like it a lot, so I was super happy that she gave me some. I will also be adding this calcium carbonate. It's basically just ground limestone. I've never used this brand before. I'm honestly pretty sure most of it's the same as long as it's like pure calcium carbonate. I think that you can't really go wrong with it. But because it's powder, it'll be super easy to mix into the soil. And I know it's important, especially for the rubber duckies. All isopods pretty much need calcium, at least to my knowledge, but for sure the rubber duckies do, just because they do come from the limestone caves. So it's important that they have a really good source of calcium. And then I'm going to be using moss, of course, for humidity. And then I also have these, a bunch of leaf litter. These are oak. I think I tried using so many leaves before, and I just think the oak is just the best. Some of the leaves are just really leathery. Magnolia is so leathery. I feel like I never see them eating it. I would say probably like oak and maple are the two that I think my isopods are partial to. They're really easy to crush up. They're super easy for them to eat. So yeah, I'll be using oak. And then, oh, this is the container I ended up drilling the holes in. This is a terrible job. I am so not good with tools. And then it died. I wanted to make more holes, but it died, so it is what it is. I have these tiny little barks, so I'll probably use these. I have a lot of other cork bark cut up, but it's just going to be way too fat for this tiny little enclosure. And then this is just like my general decorations box. If I go hiking, I'll collect things. Sometimes like these cork barks, I do buy them and then I just cut them just so I have them. And I always make sure that I sterilize everything. So what I usually do is if I find something or I buy it online and I don't know if it's sterilized or not, I just bake it in the oven at about 220 degrees for 20 minutes. And then I, of course, just watch it, but it's really safe for the most part. I like to find these little twigs, especially for like my millipedes and stuff, because this, whatever this is, lichen, I don't know how you say it, they love to munch on that. And even like this moss, even once you bake it, it gets all like crunchy and crispy, but once you spray it with water, it's, I don't know, it's crazy. It like comes back to life or something, and they love to eat it. I thought this one was so cool. It'll be like a little tunnel. I don't know who I'm going to use this one for yet, but and then I have the same thing in this one. these are awesome. They're the little like seed pods that fall off the magnolias. I think it's after they flower. I have some that, I think these ones just fell off early or something. I don't know. I'm not an expert when it comes to magnolias, but I do know that the isopods like to hide inside these, so it makes for like a fun little shelter for them. I also use like acorn caps or anything like that that I know will be kind of a natural hiding spot for them, something that you would typically find on the ground. I have noticed though that like in my millipede enclosure, these did mold from the moisture, so maybe keep it on the dry side or just make sure to pay attention to that. But yeah, so I am going to get everything set up and then I'll show you. Okay, so I added a little bit of substrate. I know I didn't add very much, but my isopods are like really tiny. And I'm just afraid that if I put too much, I really am gonna lose them. So I just added a little bit and then I added the calcium and then I'm just gonna like mix it up. I probably added a little bit too much calcium. I'm not really sure like the ratio. I've made other substrates before and oh yeah, that was like way too much calcium. I'm gonna have to add more soil. I've made other substrates before for my millipedes. I don't have any experience. Well, I mean, I have made isopod substrate, but it was literally just like coconut husk or coconut fiber or whatever it is, and like wood chips. It was not very fancy, but I have made a really good substrate for my millipedes, and I added calcium, and I know it was like 1% of the mixture should be calcium. So I don't know really what that means, honestly, but anyways, I don't know, why does it seem like I still have way too much in there? Maybe when I spray it, it won't look as like white and powdery, but yeah, that seems like more. We'll see. I don't know, I'm being really indecisive. Okay, that seems better. So yeah, let me get it all mixed in. And honestly, I have some cuttle bone too, so I can actually add like a little small bit of cuttle bone if I feel like they need more calcium. I know you don't really need more than one calcium source. Like one is sufficient enough, but just to be safe. If you don't have calcium carbonate, you can use cuttle bone, like the kinds that you buy at the pet stores to feed like birds and stuff like that. Or if you have like oyster shells, not that I think most people readily have oyster shells available over like calcium carbonate or the oyster, or not the oyster, the cuttle bone. I think that's probably the easiest thing to buy. But as long as you have like one of those sources, it should be good. So next I'm gonna do is just add some water, because you definitely want to make sure the substrate is moist. And this is just regular water, but I did dechlorinate it. So yep, I'm gonna do that and then I will be back. Okay, so I added the substrate. I made sure that it was pretty wet, and then I added the moss, and then I have a slightly drier side over here. I'll let it probably dry out a bit more and just continue to spray this side, but I do like to really kind of moist the soil when I first add it to the enclosure. So now I'm gonna add a few decorations and then we will finally add the rubber duckies. Okay, so now that I have made a total mess everywhere, this is the final enclosure. I have a cork bark, I have a little twig, I have a tiny little piece of cuttle bone, and leaf litter. Looks pretty good. So tiny and so cute. I really like this. So yeah, I'm gonna add the duckies now. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but anyways, they're so tiny. Like I said, I have 6 of them. I found 2 right away. Usually I have a really hard time finding them, so I'm gonna be digging them all out. Oh my god, you are so cute. I'm gonna be digging them out and then I will be adding them into their enclosure. I'm literally still looking for them. It's so hard to find them. Oh, there's one. Let's see if it'll focus. Hi. Okay, I need to get him out before he disappears. Okay, I'm only using flash because I think it makes it a little easier to see them. But yeah, they're really tiny. These 3 in the front are a little bit bigger, but then the other ones are really tiny. So, oh, that little one is flipped over. I'm gonna put them in their new enclosure before I lose them because I'm just afraid if I drop one, I'm either gonna hurt it or I'm never gonna be able to find it again. So yeah, here they are. They're just really adorable and I can't wait to see them get bigger. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare with the flash. But yeah, I'm gonna just start adding them. Oh, sorry guys. I do notice that they run and hide really, really fast. Some of my isopods are definitely more comfortable on the surface. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know if it's like a numbers thing, like they're just more confident when there's like more of them. You look dirty. Or if some of them are just more shy. I'm sure it's a little bit of both, but yeah. So I'm really, really happy with their enclosure. I love all the stuff that I have inside, so I'm hoping that it's not too big and that they won't get lost. And then I'm hoping that, you know, when I put food in here that they'll be able to find it. Although they'll be able to eat all of the substrate and anything else that's in here, but I do want to supplement with like fish food and some veggies and stuff like that. So hopefully it's not a problem, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Okay, so everybody is happy and safe in the new enclosure. I'm gonna clean up this huge mess, but I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And also, if you have any advice or any kind of criticism or anything like that, totally let me know, because I am super new to rubber duckies, and I would appreciate any advice. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I will be able to make some more videos. I have a bunch more other isopods. I also have millipedes, roaches, things like that. So I am excited to make future videos. All right, see ya.